Okay, now it's your turn.
Okay, thank you.
You're out by the car. Please, it's standard car. Just open the doors and get into it. Okay, nothing new so far. Just throw the key down.
Okay.
Get your feet on the brake. Start the engine. It makes noise. It has a lot of lamps on, and it shows you that we haven't charged yesterday, so it's only 76 kilometers of reach, and the battery is about 3/4 full.
Okay.
Then we have like the energy monitor, which we will use while driving, and then we see how efficient you drive.
Okay.
So let's get your belts on. Put the reverse gear in. Yeah. Reverse.
How do you?
Oh, just push to the left and.
Okay.
No, just to the left.
Okay.
And up.
And up. Okay.
There you are.
Okay. And
that's all. Now, yeah, it runs.
Okay.
So the only sound you hear.
Yeah, it's completely.
Is the sound of the turnaround that way. More. Full around. Full.
Okay.
Stop.
Yeah. So
and then D. Yeah, like that.
Okay.
And off we go. Now, when you come up here, have a short stop. Because look at the electric bike here. Hello. You see that electric bike from the postal service is electric, replaces a normal car.
Okay.
So we see that the transport section has really changed already in Norway.
Okay.
Now my suggestion is that you take the steep.
Okay.
And now push the button to give like speed. Really push the button.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's completely. Yeah, you have a very good acceleration. Okay. And if you compare this kind of car to a petrol car, how around horses do you have with an electric car like that? If you can compare, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't. I don't really have an idea whether we are around 80 horsepower or something like that.
Okay.
But the point is that the electrical engine, as compared to a petrol engine, has an efficiency, a turn moment in Newton meters, which is by far bigger than that what you reach with a normal electric car. Simply because the normal electric car needs some 2,000 turns before you get it all into an area where the engine gets power.
Yeah, it's completely different. I search always the third pedal.
Yeah.
But it's completely disturbed to have to don't have any sound.
Yeah. I mean, this car even has a sound generator for the pedestrians.
Okay.
So it has in the front 2 small loudspeakers to make sound such that people who are walking and are like impaired, that they hear the car when it's coming.
Okay. So yes, but with the new generation of car, which don't make any sound, you are not afraid that there can be some accident in the way because people don't hear the car and walk on the street.
Yeah. Turn to the right.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Whenever you have a new technology, then the new technology, yes, will have accidents. So that's always how it is. But that's why we have regulations.
Okay.
And the regulations will then help us to avoid, or the car industry will itself then have this autonomous function, which will work. While you're driving, let's follow me. We do now a step on the highway.
Okay.
To just give you a feeling of how it functions.
Okay.
And then when we go back, by the way, here is now on the left.
Okay.
You see this is a Tesla place.
Okay.
Where probably you see like 60, 70 Teslas standing. It is the biggest, it's the storage field for the Tesla repair here in Oslo. Straight on.
Okay.
We can, if we remember, then we can swing by and make a kind of observation.
Okay.
Left.
Left.
In the roundabout.
Okay. Yes.
And then the first one to the right, and then you're on the highway.
Yes. Okay. Left. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah. That's where you live.
Yeah.
I see ahead of us some of the dinosaurs,
Yeah.
which are still there.
And
Now you can start driving. He's turning to the left. The energy monitoring tells you that as soon as you release your foot, you regenerate energy.
okay.
So if you go on the left on the highway,
And if you brake, you can
left. You see it actually here if you now as soon as you leave the pedal, he starts regenerating energy.
Okay.
And what you see is, even if you now press the pedal, then you will probably reach some 40 kilowatts. And if you give it a try now to press the pedal, see you have some 40 kilowatts, which are used as energy for as energy usage.
And with the new devices, the new battery, you can give up. No, not give up, but you can have more than 30 kilowatt.
Yeah, the new Leaf, the second model, has a bit stronger engine, so I think it has some 60 kilowatts being available. But then again, if you really look at the power you have because it's not the horsepower which tells, it's the acceleration moment which you have, and that one is so much bigger.
Okay.
So I suggest that we'll take the exit here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, in some 500 meters.
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
And then we take the right over this bridge and over to the other side, and
Okay,
on the highway again.
Right, okay. And in Norway, what is a more powerful electric car? Is it Tesla, or there are some other more power?
No, I would think the most powerful is actually the Tesla.
And the BMW E8 is not
is the IH
this one? Okay.
I would see it more as a concept car, because it's not optimized for really battery, and that is the reason. That is the reason why that car hasn't really reached the popularity in the market.
Okay.
Simply because you don't pay like 70,000-80,000 euros if you can't reach your hut.
Yeah, okay. And if you compare the price to a Tesla, this BMW is more expensive, or it's the same?
I don't really know. I would think that it's about the same price, but then with a lot less reach. And I think that is the reason. And what we see now is with the Honda Ioniq, the Opel Ampera, and all the cars coming up, is reach is really not any longer the biggest problem. Yeah, now you reach some for a short time some 80 kilowatts.
Is it a completely electric car, this one?
Yes, everyone with an E.
The E or the blue color?
No,
the blue color you can have it.
Yeah. It's the E, and we now have the series. It started with EL.
Okay.
That's why lots of people talk about L-Bil.
Okay.
Then it continued to be EK. So that is like having the first 100,000 cars, then came the EK, and now they are already at EV for electrical vehicle.
Okay, yeah, okay.
But we still call them L-Bil, because the first cars had this electric EL car.
And I saw some French car like the E0 of Peugeot and the C0 of Citroën. Are there some really famous car? It's not at all in Norway, the French model.
Currently, they haven't really seen the market, and the reason may actually be that they are so fresh, and they haven't been really pushed as much as, for example, Volkswagen with the e-Golf pushed it into the market, and of course Nissan has the Nissan Leaf as being the dominating electric car.
Okay.
So we take the exit here. So no, unfortunately, the French cars, the postal services has some Peugeot as electric cars, but then when I looked into like the what is it, the left,
okay,
how was that car again called? I was really missing the quick charger. One of the, I don't know whether it was the Peugeot or it was the Citroën. He didn't have the quick charger. And like when I want to go longer trips, I would like to be able to connect and then take a coffee. And then within the coffee time of 20 minutes, I have like 80% of the battery being recharged. So I could continue. And if you don't have that chance, then it wasn't really so interesting for me.
Yeah, okay.
Now what we do in the next roundabout, we take to the right.
To the
Next one.
Okay.
And then we see whether we can get into the Tesla cars or whether it's closed. Take the first to the left.
Okay.
Yeah, past the garages. Yeah. Go to that entry. Pass through, though it's forbidden. And then we make one round just to show your people. We'll start here on this side. If you go all the way around now,
Okay.
just for making a photo, then you see these are typical employments. And then what we see is this is no goods terminal. But now Tesla has used it as the repair and sales store for all their Tesla cars. So you see new ones without number plates. You see some which have to be in repair. Yes, but I if I remember that it was also and like if you compare it to the Honda Ioniq and the Opel Ampera, then what you see is these models came first to Norway and are not released to the European market yet, simply because the capacity from Norway is so big that, and of course the experience from Norwegians with electric cars is so high that it's a very easy market introduction, because you don't have to convince someone to buy a Honda Ioniq or an Opel Ampera.
Okay.
It just like works like that. So we go out again to the right.
Yeah. Okay. And I saw on a newspaper on the net that Tesla want to install the big factory, the new big factory, mega factory, in fact, in Netherlands.
Yeah.
Do you think it will be preferable to install it in Norway? Because with the increase of the demand and
Yeah, there are always several factors. One is the cost of labor.
yeah.
The second one is the transport costs.
Okay.
And if you want to reach the European market, then of course Netherlands is the preferred option.
Yeah, okay.
Because
you are in the middle, you have big airport. Yeah.
Exactly, and everyone can easily get in there. And Netherlands has very low tax regimes for everything which is close to trading.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that is the main reason for going to the Netherlands, and actually giving the manpower intensive work probably still with the Tesla, because I've read the news that Tesla, as compared to German and French manufacturing, is at least 30-40% more cost effective.
Okay.
We can go right here
Okay.
to see something more about Høybråten. And you probably recognize the 30 kilometers per hour sign, which simply means that in all the small regions we anyway have reduced the speed so much that doesn't make sense to have a big car.
Okay, it's the same in France. Since the beginning of, not this month, but July, they reduced the speed from 90 to 80.
Yeah.
But everybody are hungry about it.
Yeah, of course, because it always takes time to like do this change of habits. If you're used to something, you want to continue with something.
Yeah.
That's a very natural way of looking into it.
Yeah.
And that very natural way is hard to change. But then when you once have changed habits, then you sometimes ask yourself, why haven't I done that all the time?
Okay. Yeah, but on some report I heard that the average speed in France on this way at 90, the average was at 80, and that's why they decided to decrease the speed limit to 1 because of to earn more money, of course.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really. Well, people like to be turn right.
Yeah.
People like to be independent. They don't want the state to regulate anything. You see it in the extreme case in the US, but you see it also in Europe. And then restricting car use, restricting the freedom of drive where you want, has been the main argument for both the cars industry, but also for people to say that I want to. I want my car, I want the independence, I want to go wherever I can go. And that one is probably the biggest challenge you have to tell. That it's more convenient to actually drive by car than anything else.
Okay, yeah. I see.
So now we are back, and what we do now is we'll simply show how easy it is to connect to the electrical charger.
Yeah, I see.
So we go into the and then left. Yeah, turn around. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So just press the power button and everything is silent. That's it.
Okay.
You're done. So it's so
Okay, so
easy.
thank you.
The only thing what we do now is there is a small button here on the left. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
So you open that one, and we go out. As I said, one of the only reasons why I still have it is that we have a boat trailer and a boat, and that's why I have this big monster still standing in. Okay. If you take this one here, and I just get here we have the charger.
Okay.
And of course you've seen here an electric bike.
Okay.
Which is part of the electrification of bicycles.
And you can, for the bike, it's not the same. You cannot connect with the same charger than the.
No, that is the most frustrating story, that there has been no standardization on bike chargers.
Okay.
So every bike battery has a different charger. Now, if you, this is like the standard Type 2 pistol. Okay. So I arrived here, and you open up. Or I can open up. You have two connectors. You have the DC connector on the left side.
Okay.
And you have the AC connector, this one with the low charging. You just plug it in and you're done. And then you see that he starts blinking and charging.
Okay.
So that's how easy it is. And that simply means that whenever I go out next time, I simply put it out, hang it in, and my car is fully charged.
Okay. And to charge, I heard with some other people when I did some deliverable about electric car in France, that if you charge the battery every day, it undamage your battery. Is it right or not at all?
It's one of the good rumors from the car industry.
Yeah.
To not actually get electric cars being comfortable. That's complete bullshit. Of course, every battery deteriorates.
Yeah.
And the battery which is heavy used deteriorates faster. Which means that the problem of the battery is always the last charge, 95% to 100%,
Yeah.
and the very low discharge
Yeah.
being the last 5-10%.
Okay.
And the second is the speed of charging. Like if you put like 100 kilowatts charge on,
Yeah.
It stresses the battery by far more.
Okay.
But this car, you probably haven't seen it, but this car now is 7 years old.
Okay.
And after 7 years, the battery has deteriorated by 1/12. So it's by 8%.
Okay.
So yes, there is a deterioration of the battery by this car by 8% in 7 years. But that simply means it's so little. And I would anyway like to have a bigger battery.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So as a conclusion, I don't see... The only disappointing story with an electric car is that you actually have to install a charger in your home. But from then onwards, of course, you have to change your habits a bit when it comes to driving. Because if you drive like full speed, your electricity goes away rather quickly.
Yeah.
But those are the stories of range. But with the new cars, I don't see any big problems.
Okay.
So